how much do you need to stock up on food for a family of 4? Hey everyone, Morgan here. So technically we're a family of 5 now, but my newborn is still, very newbornish. She's just a month old. So I wanted to show you what it looks like for a family of 4 and how much you might need to stock up for 1 year. Now, when I talk about these estimates, they're just that. Estimates, okay? Your family could eat less rice, less pasta, more pasta, right? So use these as a guide. What I really want you to do is write out your menu plan. This is the first step. Write out your menu plan of what you would eat for a whole month in an emergency or disaster situation. This is the starting point. Once you have that list, once you have that menu, now you can make your grocery list, okay, of things that you will need. And you can start adding up. Okay, well, I use 5 cups of rice a week or whatever the case may be. And you can start estimating how much you go through in a week or a month or a year of rice. But again, these are just estimates. So first, I want you to create your menu plan, create your grocery list off of that. I have a blog post down below that goes into great detail about how to do that. I will also have a blog post down below about these estimates so that you can print them and just see, get an estimate for yourself. I want you to make your own lists and your own estimates though, okay? And you can't have too much food, right? It's like, okay, so I only need 100 pounds of rice, let's say, but I'm going to stop there. Nah, don't stop there, okay? Go ahead and get the 200 pounds of rice, the 300 pounds of rice, okay? Get more, okay? More is never worse. With rice, 300 to 400 pounds for a family of 4. Rice is a great long-term, high-calorie. So we're talking about 75 to 100 pounds per person for the year. So that's a pretty good estimate. Pasta is about 60 to 80 pounds. Now, I would have to say we use about the same amount of pasta as we do rice. It's about half and half in our family, so I would probably up that for us for about 100 to 200 pounds. But I also know how to make pasta, so I don't store as much. I'll store like flour, and I have eggs and stuff like that. I have freeze-dried raw eggs that I can make pasta with, so I'm not too concerned with storing pasta, but I do like to have it, of course, so I don't always have to make it. But so we got rice and we got pasta, flour. Flour, we actually use a lot of flour. So this estimate is about 200 to 300 pounds of flour. And I'm going to show you guys what these pounds actually look like in a Mylar bag. This is 50 pounds of rice in a 5-gallon Mylar bag. So as you can see, if you add this up, you do like 2 of these, then you'd have 100 pounds of rice. So that's 2 5-gallon bags. You can put this in a bucket if you want, but I just have it out in my closet. But this is just an example of what this would look like. That's 50 pounds right there in the 5-gallon bag. So, just add it up. You can easily store it under the bed, closet. It's not too bad. So that's about 50 to 75 pounds per person of flour. And for wheat grinding, I would store about the same, 200 to 300 pounds. I store a lot of wheat berries, like a ton. Okay, so powdered milk, 50 to 75 pounds. I would actually store probably about 100 pounds of powdered milk. 50 to 75 pounds, this is for cooking and baking. We don't really drink like the powdered milk, but we use it for baking and cooking. So 50 to 75 pounds. So sugar or other alternatives, so 60 to 100 pounds. We don't go through sugar a ton, but I do bake with it, that's how I use sugar. I bake with it. So we have actually had a 5-gallon bucket of sugar that's been lasting us. I put a 25 pounds in it, and I still have about half left from the 6 months that we've had it. So, 60 to 100 pounds for a year is actually super accurate for us. I would go for the 100 pounds just to get a little bit over, right? Salt, 10 to 20 pounds. We use salt in cooking and ever so slight. Like I use other seasonings way more than I'll use salt, but salt, wars have been fought over salt. So I would get more like 100 pounds of salt. I get anywhere from 25 to 50 pounds of salt from Azure Standard a couple times a year. So I easily have 100 pounds of salt right now. So canned goods are just so easy. And now I think canned goods are harder to store than any of these dried goods that I've already talked about. For a family of 4, we're looking at about 600 to 800 cans for the year. 600 to 800 cans a year. And that's pretty accurate. We can go through, 3 or 4 cans in just one meal. We have a can of vegetable, we have the can of beans, and then we'll have, you could have a can of meat. That's 3 cans right there that you're using in just one meal, right? So 600 to 800 cans of canned food is pretty accurate. And of course, you may not use 3 cans for every meal every day. It's just something to try to add up and figure out, okay, 3 times 3 for 3 meals a day times, 365 days, add it up. So water, we're looking at bare minimum is 1 gallon per person per day. That's for drinking. Okay. And then you also need water for hygiene, cooking, and cleaning. So that's another gallon per person per day. Now that other gallon can come from anywhere. It can come from your rainwater. It can come from you going to collect it. So if you want to just store the bare minimum of drinking water for that 1 gallon per person per day for 365 days, that's 365 gallons, right? And then I would double that for the drinking and for the cooking and hygiene and cleaning. Double that. Okay. Just as a frame of reference, this is a 50-gallon, tub of water. So if we're talking about 365 gallons of water, well, this is 50 gallons right here. So this is just a frame of reference for you guys, just to say, hey, what does 365 gallons of water look like? Well, this is 50 gallons right here. So if we just, and this is in a barrel all by itself. If we're talking about bottled water and gallons of water individually, things like that, it looks a little different. But this is 50 gallons. So, use your imagination, add it up, figure it out. So beans, I would do about 100 pounds. Beans and legumes, things like that. Lentils, I would do about 100 pounds. It's rice and beans. People love their rice and beans. But yeah, I would do 100 pounds for the year. We do eat beans, but not as much as we eat rice. My kids are very weird about beans, only certain kinds of beans in certain ways. Anyway, so we'll store about 100 pounds of beans. And oils and fats, you really want some oils and fats. Oils will easily last a year, so I wouldn't even worry about that. Okay, oils and fats easily last a year. Like olive oil, I keep an unopened one at all times, a few unopened ones, and then I'll always be using one. Plus I have some in my freezer. Okay, you can freeze oil. Oh, I also have coconut oil. I always have one of those in the freezer. And anyway, so yeah, I would get 20 to 30 pounds, if not more. I mean, this is for cooking, baking, things like that. So, we don't use a ton of oil, but the fats and the oils, super important in your food storage. Spices, just get all the spices, okay? I'm not even going to tell you how many pounds because it's kind of weird. I just get all the spices, okay? Just get them all and get a lot and store them in dry areas. If you want to repackage them into Mylar with oxygen absorbers or silica packets, do that, right? Just get all the spices. So vitamins and supplements, I think that it's a good idea to have some vitamins and supplements. They can last that year perfectly, right? Unopened, absolutely. And even opened, I would say probably 6 months. I've noticed with vitamins, especially when they're opened, because I live in a very humid place, the opening and closing all the time really kind of degrades them pretty fast. So I just got to, take them as directed. But unopened ones, they can easily store for a solid year. So you can get a couple backups. So this is just a basic outline of some basic canned goods, basic dried goods. Of course, there's lots more to consider here. You want variety. You should still start that indoor garden so you can have fresh microgreens or fresh sprouts or fresh lettuce in your little countertop hydroponics, right? You want variety and you want to include as much nutrient-dense stuff as possible. You also don't want to forget about your freezer. And every time I say you don't want to forget about your freezer, people always tell me, well, yeah, the freezer is great unless there's a power outage. Sure, absolutely. If there is a power outage, you know what you can do. You could have been prepared for that. In this scenario of being prepared for a year, we're not necessarily talking about a blackout situation. But if it were a blackout situation for a whole year, then of course I'm probably not going to be powering my freezer for a whole year, because I'll be using that stuff pretty frequently to get it out so that I don't have to use my solar generators or my generator to power that freezer all year long. If you live in a super cold place, a lot of people will just unplug their freezer and put the freezer outside, right? So there's lots of options, but I don't discount my freezer. I have my freezer stacked of food. And if I ever needed to get it out and can it, or preserve it in any other way, I would. And if I ever did have to power my freezer, I have options, right? Solar generators, or just a gas generator, propane generator, whole house generator, whatever's in your budget, right? You can power your freezer for a long time. And I live in an area when I have plenty of sun. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about keeping my freezer powered for significant long periods of time. Of course, we didn't even talk about like freeze-dried foods or MREs. The freeze-dried food and MREs, if you want to add that to your food storage, that's just a bonus, right? So when you're thinking about adding freeze-dried foods, you can definitely go get the year supply or month supply or whatever from like ReadyWise or Mountain House or whatever. If you want to just individually just nitpick it, then go ahead and just get, you see one packet, a mac and cheese. Okay, that's one meal. Me and my kids can share that one meal. Usually the 2 servings is plenty for me and my kids. And then my husband will need one as well. So we have 2 packages for one meal. So that's how you can think of it. Then just multiply from there. Okay, I have 2 of these. Now how many am I going to need for a year? But you don't have to store a year's worth of freeze-dried if you don't. I like to have it as a backup. I am also freeze drying my own food. I have a freeze dryer. So I am actually working on a challenge right now to freeze dry 30 days worth of food, home freeze dried. So I'm working on that, and I will show you guys an update here on that in a little bit. I also have an update on how much I have freeze dried over the past year. I've had my freeze dryer 1 year. So what have I freeze dried over the past year? You guys will see that in an upcoming video. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this, and don't forget to click all the links down below in the description. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.